There's not going to be any primer, any contour, anything difficult at all. Just the minimum amount of products to get you out the door. So I start almost every morning off with 10 minutes of this LED face mask. This is the Current Body Series 2, and when the 10 minutes are up, it turns off automatically. My daily makeup routine over the last 3 months or so has been based around these three products from Merit: the serum, the moisturizer, and then the minimalist foundation stick. Now, this is as good a time as any to say that this is not a sponsored by Merit video, but these products were gifted to me, and I've enjoyed them so much that when I was offered a few more products to try out on my channel, what I actually did was I just asked for the same products again. Here's my latest Merit box, and in it you'll see I asked for the moisturizer again, for a backup foundation stick because I'm liking it so much. Perfecting complexion stick. My shade is ochre. And then the only new thing I asked for was this little brush. Isn't it cute? Because my eyeshadow brush has seen better days. Look, it's just stripped off, but I refuse to throw it out. So I'm hoping this will be a pretty good one. Haven't used this yet, but can totally vouch for all the other products I'm going to be using here. They become complete staples for me. I could have had any of their products, but these are the ones I really wanted to have backups of. I love these. They're really great. So I start off with this serum, and I'm shaking it because it's one of those biphasic type of serums where like a watery level and an oily looking level. And this is the most interesting serum I think I've ever used. It is very liquidy. It's not a jelly or a gel and will stick. It's so thin and light. If you have oily skin and you want to use Merit's foundation stick, I think you should stop here just with the serum. I don't think you need to layer the moisturizer on top of it. It might be too much. My other makeup tip is that if you are using a serum and then moisturizer and then a foundation over that, for my skin, I like to let each of them sink in a little bit. So this means that it kind of slows me down a little bit in the morning, so I can't just stand in front of the mirror and put everything on within 10 minutes. I see people doing that all the time. That's great if it works for them, but what works best for me is putting on the serum, going downstairs, getting a coffee. If I need to moisturize, I'll do that, and then get to the makeup a little bit later on in the morning. I think ultimately it takes the same amount of time. It's just I work in other things that I'm doing anyway in the morning in between them. This leaves the skin feeling very hydrated, and yet makeup still goes on it really nice. The moisturizer can go over it. It's not like any other serum I've ever used. So the next thing I've been using for my everyday makeup is Merit's moisturizer. You just need one pump. I don't use more than that, just that. And skin is very dry right now. Work this in. And it is at this point that I will go and have a coffee and I will come back. Okay, now the makeup, the thing that we're actually here for. But can we just take a minute to appreciate how glowy my skin is with just these two products? In the past, I've not had any luck with foundation sticks, but this one is really good. And not only that, there's a lot in it. I can keep twisting and twisting. This will keep going. And I've been using it daily for ages now. So there's a lot in there. I put it on pretty liberally, just stroke it everywhere that I would like to have coverage. It's a cross between foundation and concealer, so you can go back in and layer it on in somewhere where you might need more coverage. I have some hyperpigmentation. I might need to go over that again, that vein in my eyelid area. Then I use this Merit brush. Do I know the name of it? No, I do not. Can you get by without this and use whatever brush you have? Absolutely, you can. This one is nice, though. It's got this nice angle and it's very soft. So if you don't have any and you're buying from Merit anyway, it is good. And of course, you can always just go to e.l.f. and get an inexpensive one like this, and it'll do the job as well. I will say about this foundation stick, though, if you're someone who likes to touch your face a lot, it does budge. It's not a long wear foundation. It doesn't just stain your skin. It is definitely a layer, gently, lightly, and I would say very attractively sitting on top of your face, but it will move. Like if you do start to go like this, if I push my hand really hard like this, I would budge it, definitely. That said, as the day goes on, it does settle nicely. It's more similar to a regular foundation. It is not a long wear formulation. But if you want that no makeup look, I mean, it doesn't really look like I'm wearing a lot of foundation right now. I haven't found anything better than this. And then I kind of take a good look at myself. I've got a mirror here to the side and I see where I need more. And as always, I've got this hyperpigmentation spot and I'll cover it a bit like that. Dab on it, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't oxidize, it doesn't leave a harsh line. You can see I didn't even blend it super well down into here, but this is a really good match for my skin tone. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I got very lucky. This is a perfect match for me. So when I do my makeup, I like to work from the top down because things dry and then I can just keep going downward. So let's try this new Merit tiny brush. I'm going to use the small tip. I'll save that tip for my actual eyeshadow. This is not a Merit product. This is Charlotte Tilbury's. This is like a really neutral browns that she used to make. I don't know if she makes this anymore, but this is her eyeshadow quad. So I have no eyebrows really. So this is how I like to tackle mine. I like to go in here with just a bit of powder because you don't want a harsh line. Like I wouldn't use a pencil here. Just makes it too harsh. But just darken up this part and the rest I will use the pencil for. My brows are probably more tricky than your brows because I've got empty patches. When I lost all of my hair due to chemotherapy, my eyebrows never grew back fully, so they're not thick anymore. So I really do have to bump them up more than the average person. Plus, I'm from the 90s. We've always had thinner brows that have come to haunt us in later years. I'm just touching it with a pencil. Then I'm just taking a spoolie, which is what these things are called, and I'm just going to rub it in. I'm not trying to do anything but just darken my brows a bit. So I try and keep this part to about a minute. I've heard people taking 10 minutes on their brows, and this is that's never going to happen for me. I don't have that kind of patience. This is my absolute favorite. If you like me and you have just ghost brows, as I like to call mine, this is Tarte's Sketch and Set product, and this is black brown. And what I love about it is it's one of the only one actually I know of, that for the price of just this one product, it has actual gel, colored gel on one side, and on the other, brow pencil in the same color. I've tried so many different products. I've tried Benefits products. I don't have anything from Merit. I've never asked them for any brow product, but over years and years of like powder, this, that, the other, this is the best product for my particular brow situation. I only wish they had made more colors because the color selection is somewhat limited, and I hope they keep making this. I live in fear that they will discontinue this product. Not to harp on about it, but this wand is so tiny. I've never seen another teeny little wand like this that is so perfect and picking up those tiny little brow hairs. So I keep trying to get away from buying this and trying other things, and then I just keep coming back to it, and I'm like, why did I do that? Unclear. So I'm going to use my new Merit brush and just go in with a tiny bit of eyeshadow and just sweep that in. If eyeshadow really stresses you out, as it does for some people, just skip it. You can have a very nice eye look. I think if you pay attention to your cheeks and maybe amp up the lips, put on some mascara, I don't think you need to have eyeshadow. But I am a creature of habit, and this is definitely part of my everyday routine. This brush fits really nicely in that eye socket area. Since the 90s, I've been wearing liquid eyeliner. If you want to skip liquid eyeliner, by all means do. If you just don't have the bandwidth to figure out how to do the whole winged eyeliner thing, you will be forgiven. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but for me, it is just like someone would wear lipstick every day. For me, it's eyeliner. If you are interested, though, this is Clinique's High Impact Easy Liquid Liner, and it's got a brush tip. So now that I'm getting older, I just pull my eyeliner instead of going up so much, more toward the top of my ears rather than, this part of my forehead. This is not a necessary step, but sometimes I'll go in and you see how there's like quite a bit of white underneath there in the waterline. I will go in and just touch it, being very careful not to touch my actual eyeball, but I will darken it up a tiny bit. Eyebrows done, eyes done, almost. If I ever do wear mascara, I've got these two from Swede. I'm going to show you that have been really popular with the influencer set. I always have to curl my eyelashes. It's just not possible for me not to, and I only use Shiseido's eyelash curler. Why only Shiseido? Well, I bought this ages ago. I clean it and it's still good, so I don't see any reason to replace it. It's one of these eyelash curlers that is a favorite of makeup artists. So I've got these two Swede mascaras. These are both in black. So this is Swede's Clad Mascara in black, and this is their Pro Lash Lift Mascara. This has a lot more in it compared to this, and they're almost exactly the same. So I'm not finding a big lifting effect, even though the wands are quite different. Somehow they're quite similar. So I'm going to show you. And am I vouching for these? I mean, they're fine. Are they better than drugstore? I don't think so. So look, this one's the chubby one. This one has got that skinny one that is supposed to be for lifting up lashes. I've never been able to see a big difference between using them. So this is the skinny one that only has bristles on the one side. It looks fine. Here's the other one with a much fuller brush. They're both just straightforward mascaras. I can't tell a difference between them, honestly. If you just handed me one or the other, they seem the same. That one looks good too. This one does lift a tiny bit more, but in an hour, it's not going to make any difference. Suede mascara. Helen in editing here. I totally forgot to ask you to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video. I've noticed when I don't ask that, my videos tank. This is pretty much like the most makeup I would wear. Once I put the blush on, I'm usually done for the day. This is Merit's Cheeky Flush Balm, and I made a video about first trying these, and I liked this product immediately. I thought it was really good. Just straight off the hop, very easy to use. I wasn't too sure about the other products, but I do like them. I've been using this daily. I'm gonna have it for years. I've been using it daily, and it's like I hadn't touched it at all, so I'll still have plenty left by the time it actually expires. If you use this blush, please be careful at this point, because what is likely to happen is if you start working with your hands, you'll start to budge all your makeup. So you have to just tap. That's the secret. Okay, so blush is all tapped in. This is looking just a tiny bit too harsh right here and here. So I'm going to brush these in. This is the part where I have some good tips for you. And keeping it real, there was a Merit product that I didn't like, which is this Bounce Day Glow. It's a highlighter stick that is literally the exact same color as my skin. And I'm going to put some on and you'll see it doesn't appear to do absolutely anything. So this for me is a do not buy, but everything else is an enthusiastic buy. I'm also going to show you a Merit lipstick in a second that is so good. I mean, what are we doing here? It's not visible at all. Also, I don't need any more highlighter. I am pretty highlighted as it is. So if this look is too much and too bright and too shiny, I've got some tips for you to take it down. Very simple. Tip one is just wait. It will start to sink in and it won't look like this all day. Tip two is if you have this brush, you just take it down in the ugly shine areas and you leave the others. T-zone. Dab, don't smear. So the bristles have absorbed some of the extra dewiness, some of the shine, but part of the reason that this is minimal and makes you look like you're not wearing makeup and you just have healthy, youthful skin is the glow. So you don't want to take down all of it. That still wasn't enough. Then you got to get yourself a tissue and you're just going to press again down onto the ugly shine areas. And you'll see not too much lifted off. In fact, it just kind of pressed it in. So I'm happy enough with that. But what happens if we add lipstick? This is Merit's signature lip in shade Power. It's a beautiful matte red. Let's try it on. This and the blush were the two products I liked immediately, and it took me a while to start to really enjoy the others. As I said, this one I never enjoyed. I don't recommend this one, but all the others, enthusiastic thumbs up. And in fact, as you saw, I reordered the serum, moisturizer, and the foundation stick because I never want to run out. They're really good. I think this is a really nice red, and I like that it's matte, and I feel like the matte contrasts with the dewiness of everything else going on. Nice combo, but my top tip for wearing red lipstick is to add a little bit more blush, not too much, but just a tiny bit more, because what's going to happen is the red is going to suck the shape and the color out of your face. So you may need to go back in there with a little bit more. Add a couple more dabs of the blush, just tap them in. You can take it down a little bit if you want as well, if this feels too full on for the day. If you dab it off, it'll look more like a stain. And considering it's matte, it's actually not too drying. I have a real tendency to get dry lips, but this one, I don't know, they did a really nice job formulating it so it doesn't leave you with chapped lips the next day. Right, hope that was helpful. We'll see you in the next video.